Vancouver should be a great place to live, work, and do business. But Vancouver businesses pay property taxes at a rate more than 5 times that of residents. That makes it harder for them to thrive, grow, and compete. Here's what some Vancouver business owners have to say about the consequences and fairness of the high property taxes they pay.
No, I don't feel the taxes I pay as a small businessman are fair.
We're paying much too high a load in comparison to what residents pay, and also in comparison to what I've seen over the years. I've been in business for 27 years, and in this location my taxes have more than doubled.
Taxes are a big problem when you consider rent. Rent is probably the biggest expense for a business to survive in Vancouver, especially a small business like ours.
Just to give you an example, last year, 2007, I paid $4.44 of property tax per square foot, so that's about $21,400 in 1 year.
I think I should pay my fair taxes, yes. I've been in business since 1978. I've been in this location since 1984, and I've always paid taxes and never argued it, but everything is just constantly going up, and you're having a time frame where it's in 1 year is jumping 80%, and I think that's unfair.
The taxes are just out of this world. They're out of control, and it's not that we're getting anything for our tax dollars, because our local BIA pays for security, pays for cleaning the streets. That's what a tax dollar should be used for, but they're not.
Does Craving go to the park? No. Does Craving go to the library? No. Does Craving go to community center? No. We get very little of those services that we are paying taxes for.
For example, we pay for our own garbage removal. We have to pay for our own security call out when the alarms go off because the police don't respond or they're very slow in responding. We have to deal with dumpsters in the alleyway blocking our our rear entrances, and the garbage that's all around the dumpsters as well. And these are not even our dumpsters, because our dumpsters are actually locked up in the building.
It puts us as a small business person at a very big disadvantage, because the prices go up on our taxes, but we can't afford to raise our prices that we sell in our store. And so it just squeezes our bottom line more and more.
It makes it so difficult for a business to survive these days. I mean, even a business like our small piano store here, because taxes are so high, we've had to raise our prices of our pianos, and that's affecting our bottom line, and we're not able to hire as much staff as we were, and it can be a big problem, definitely.
Basically, the tax levels are driving small business out of Vancouver.
Small mom and pops can't really sustain themselves in Vancouver. They have to move out.
I myself know 3 or 4 businesses have had to close because their rent has got too high.
Well, it's affected us as any spare income that we might get goes right to taxes.
So many small businesses are leaving 4th Avenue or leaving this community because they can't afford it anymore. And it just breaks my heart, because they are what makes up this community. Yet they're not going to be here anymore. It's just changing the dynamics, and part of the reason is because the taxes are just way too high.
Small businesses basically are unique, they are versatile, and they actually are the ones that employ the most amount of people.
Independent businesses are usually run and often employ people that have a passionate interest in the service or the goods that they are catering to the community.
It's remarkable where you have people in their homes or townhomes in the area, and they're able to step outside their door and go for a great coffee, or go to the bakery and pick up fresh bread, or be able to walk down the street and go to a fine restaurant. You know, those are things that the business are integrated into the community, and they provide, you know, better quality of life to the residences.
If you think of the word community, it means a grouping of people with a common theme and goal. And part of community is having an area you go to.
I think small business, particularly locally owned business, is the heart of our communities. I think what Vancouverites love is having their little neighborhoods that they shop in and they go for coffee in, and they get to know people. And the small businesses, we're the ones that plant the bulbs in the flower boxes, and we support the local ballet class and the local schools and the soccer teams. So, I mean, this is the store where people come when they're meeting up with their kids, or someone needs to use the phone. I mean, this is what it's all about.
Well, I sell books. But I don't just love books, I love people. I have met some of my best friends at this bookstore. In fact, one of the clients that I have years ago met the woman he married here.
We have 3 generations of families that shop at Diane's, and that's very important to them, and it's very important to us.
We are in this business because we are needed here. If I weren't needed in this community, it's a free market. I would be closed. People wouldn't walk in here.
What affects, especially in Vancouver, small business, will have effect on the residents of Vancouver. Whether it's a coffee that used to cost $2 is now $5 or $6, or whether it's someone who works at a local business and wants to walk to work or bike to work. Now they don't have that option anymore because that business is no longer in business.
Well, if businesses continue to go to business, how are you going to be able to have a tax base? Eventually, it's going to hit residents, and residents are going to be paying even more taxes than they are now.
When businesses get charged property taxes disproportionately to residences, it also translates into higher prices and reduced service.
Well, if this continues to go on, businesses will continue to leave, and we'll find that new businesses, well, they won't be coming here. I mean, as it is now, I don't encourage businesses to do business in Vancouver and start a business here. I'd rather them go somewhere else where property taxes aren't such a problem.
Businesses have no problem coming to grips with or understanding that we have to pay a little bit more than residences. That's fine. But it needs to be on a much fairer or even playing field, and right now it's not.
It should be the same as the house taxes. I would like to see our taxes dropped and then frozen, and that will help all small businesses.
I would expect them to lower it for the businesses, make it a little more equitable. Freezing it is the least we expect.
We're not asking for extra, special treatment to the businesses. We're asking for a fairer tax.
Even though if we balance out the tax to be equal, as a business person, I'm not using your community center. I'm not using any of your facilities. We're not using your garbage collection because we don't get it.
Fairness is the #1 issue. Businesses are paying taxes that are far too high. The increases are going way too much, and I think that something should be done to help business in Vancouver.
We just want taxes as small businessmen and women to be fair.
I applaud and appreciate what the current council has done. It's definitely done a lot more than all the previous councils that I have known. I just wish they could speed up the process to make it fairer a little sooner.
I just think it's really important to get across to politicians the real nature of business.
They see numbers on paper all the time, but they never actually, I think, see the struggle, really, that goes behind making a small business work.
It's long hours, it's hard work, and there's not a lot of monetary stuff coming back.
I would like to see City Council make the taxes between residential and businesses more fair. Right now, the businesses, we're paying for the taxes for the whole community, and we can't afford it. It has to be made more even.